Stage children. This is a termination trial and review.
All right, may I have the names of our participants, please?
Lee Tice, I'm the lawyer, guardian, and lineman for the children.
Nastasia, I'm sorry, Your Honor. Nastasia Thomas, counsel for the department. Ms. Brinker.
Steve Brinker, foster care worker.
Excuse me, Michael Brooks. I'm the attorney for Skylar, excuse me, Skylar Stage.
Mr. Stage, would you give us your name for the record, please?
Skylar David Stage.
Thank you. All right. Well, we're on record for a consolidated review and request for termination of Mr. Skylar Stage's parental rights. Any comments by way of opening, Ms. Thomas?
Your Honor, I think that there was a preliminary issue procedurally that we should address. At the time of the filing for the petition for termination of parental rights, it was unclear whether there was a formal adjudication for Mr. Stage as relates to the second child that was born during the pendency of this case. So currently, from my understanding, we have two petitions that are outstanding. One is the first adjudication petition, which was filed back in February of 2023. And given that I have not found a case on point that would allow me to move forward with a termination petition as it's written right now, I guess, for Mr. Stage for that second child. So I'm not sure how the court would like to proceed on that point.
Well, Your Honor, I was aware of that, and that was going to be my preliminary comment. We've got two different time frames going on here, one for the older child, one for the younger child.
Well, do you have a preference on how you'd like to proceed?
Your Honor, may I just briefly,
Sure.
for the benefit of everyone, so these two children are not similarly situated in that their process is staggered. So that if we were to have a termination hearing today on the older child, which I recommend we continue with, then the younger child is only an adjudication. However, I think that besides the procedure, everyone should consider the fact that the children are similarly situated. The little one has been in care since she was born. She has not met this father. Their maternal rights have been terminated. So in the event that we progress through termination today on the older child, we would only have to wait a period of time, and Mr. Stage doesn't have the ability really to, we could try to get his parenting skills up to speed, but it's only a matter of time. So before we would be asking for termination, the agency would be asking for termination. So I ask everybody to consider that it is important and that the older child has been placed for a long time, and that termination should progress as soon as possible for her and for the placement and for her permanence. I would also like the father to consider that, consider his resources to date. He hasn't been able to parent the oldest child, and to consider that the youngest child is in the same position as the oldest child, although procedurally we can only go forward on the oldest child today without him making a decision on the younger child.
Well, Your Honor, in plain English, I am going to assume my client does not want us to speed up the process for terminating his parental rights on his younger child. So I'll ask you, am I accurate, sir, or am I wrong?
You're accurate. I've been incarcerated. It's not like I'm purposely not wanting to better for my kids.
His answer is no. He does not want it done.
In order to be clear, and so everyone is aware of my position, it is my intent to, if this court does grant the termination of parental rights on the oldest child, at that point in time, we would have aggravating circumstances, and I would be filing for termination at initial disposition.
Take a little break, and I'm going to chat with the attorneys about this procedural issue. And then we'll send Mr. Brooks in to chat with you too, Mr. Stage, afterwards, so he can update you on what we've talked about, and then we'll come back on. Thank you, everybody, for your patience.
Don't go away, Mr. Stage.
We'll see you in a few minutes.